Good morning, everyone. Chris Brophy, Musically Obsessed. It's a rainy Sunday morning in Poughkeepsie, New York. Hope everyone's doing good this morning. I really want to have music on in the background, and I have had it in a couple videos, but I really don't know what the rules are for YouTube. So if anybody could let me know, is it okay if I put music on in the background of my videos, or should I not do that for copyright reasons? Let me know. All right, so today is part 2 of my 120 album haul video that I started yesterday. And if you watched the one yesterday, I told you I picked up my first haul ever, about 120 albums, and I'm gonna do 4 videos telling you about the albums and showing you what they are. I spent last night going through the first 30, kind of figuring out what I wanted to keep, cleaning some, listening to some. And as I was going through them, I realized they weren't as in good of shape as I was hoping. Once you hold it under the light and look at it, and there was a lot of hairline scratches and scuff marks and things. They're definitely well-loved records, and they play fine. Unfortunately for me, I was thinking too, I have this Kallax space back here, and right now I've got about 260 albums, and I'm starting to get very particular and anal, and just whatever goes in here, I want to make sure that it's really good quality. Of course, something I want to listen to, but also good quality. A really good looking album, a nice inner sleeve and outer sleeve and everything kind of intact. So to make it into the shelf, it's got to be, for me, pretty much top notch. The one album that I pulled out from yesterday to keep in my collection so far is Jerry Lee Lewis, A Taste of Country. I listened to this last night. It's so awesome. I had never actually listened to a full Jerry Lee Lewis album, and this is great. And the cover was great condition. The album was pristine, and it was definitely a great sounding record. So it's definitely going to go into the collection. All right, so without further ado, let's get into the next group, part 2 of this 120 album haul. So I got a trio of albums from Dolly Parton. Now, I love Dolly Parton. I like all of her eras, but I prefer her early stuff, and I really love the stuff she did with Porter Wagoner. I just picked up a CD about a month ago of 4 of her albums with Porter Wagoner, and it was re-released on the BGO, the Beat Goes On Records. They do a lot of cool re-releases, and this was a Dolly and Porter Wagoner re-release, and I just love that. I love that traditional country, and I think Porter and Dolly worked really well together. But I got a couple of her later albums and a best of collection. So I picked up Here You Come Again, huge album for her. And this came out on CD, but now it's out of print, and they're charging crazy amounts for it. This is on RCA. And looking up the vinyl of this, it can get a little expensive as well. So it was kind of cool to pick this up for free. I remember my mom had this growing up, and I was listening to it last night. The only song that really kind of got on my nerves a little bit was the song called Me and Little Andy. But, you can't go wrong with the song Here You Come Again. So that was a cool pickup. Excited about that. I believe that this was the album that followed it. This is called Heartbreaker. I have this on CD. This is another good album. It's not, is it classic Dolly? No, but it's a cool album anyway. I love that photo shot. Dolly was very pretty. You can't argue with that, right? And I saw this. I thought this was really cool. I had never seen this compilation. This is called The Best of Dolly Parton. I noticed on the back it had a promo stamp. And, here's the inside. Great songs in here. Like I said, I love the early stuff. This has Jolene on it, Traveling Man, The Bargain Store, which is one of my favorite Dolly Parton songs, Coat of Many Colors, My Tennessee Mountain Home. It's a bunch of great stuff. So I looked it up online, and somebody was like charging like $35 for it. And they're like, oh, it includes the elusive poster. So I looked in mine, and I'm like, oh my God, I have the elusive poster that comes with it. So that was kind of cool, and it actually says on here, poster included. This came out on RCA, 1975 comp, and so I was excited about that. It's in great condition, and like I said, I'm a Dolly Parton fan, so that's kind of a cool piece to add to the collection. What else we got here? Oh yes, no one's ever heard of this album before, right? Fleetwood Mac Rumors. I've got it on CD. Now I have it on vinyl. Didn't realize that it had a lyric sheet inside because I had the CD originally. And it is on Warner Brothers. And just looking at that, now that looks near mint. That looks like maybe it was played once, which is pretty amazing to only play Fleetwood Mac Rumors once in the 70s. But that looks like it's definitely going to be a keeper. So that was cool. The Mamas and the Papas Deliver. On the Dunhill label. And I'm looking at that. Well, there's some hairlines on here. I think too, there's no inner sleeve either, so the record was constantly rubbing up against the cardboard. But I'll take a look at that. Dedicated to the One I Love. Twist and Shout. Yeah, can't go wrong with the Mamas and Papas. A couple Billy Joel albums. Now, let me just talk about Billy Joel for a second. I am not a huge Billy Joel fan. I respect Billy Joel as a musician, as a songwriter, and I think I have his greatest hits on CD. I've just never been a huge Billy Joel fan. And I actually prefer Elton John more than Billy Joel. But with that said, I picked up Billy Joel, An Innocent Man. This has the shrink wrap on it, and it still has the hype sticker. You know, An Innocent Man, The Longest Time, Tell Her About It, Uptown Girl. I mean, really, Keeping the Faith. This is a classic album. Lyric sheet. And the vinyl is on Columbia. And I'm looking at this one. Probably very good plus on that. That's cool. I'll definitely clean that up and spin that. Like I said, not a huge Billy Joel fan. Oh, this is cool. I love when the stickers are on there where they got it. They got this from a store called Caldor. Caldor used to be like a Kmart type store in the New York area. I don't know if anybody else out there had a Caldor near them. And then Billy Joel, The Stranger. Also on Columbia. And the record looks like. This one looks like it's in better condition than the Innocent Man. That was probably a very strong, very good plus. Great album. I mean, Moving Out, Anthony's song, Just the Way You Are, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, Only the Good Die Young, She's Always a Woman. I mean, you can't like question and go wrong with Billy Joel's hits. For whatever reason, I don't know, he just never grabbed me as much as maybe like an Elton John did. But again, I appreciate Billy Joel. I'm happy to have a couple of his albums in my collection. Next, Judy Collins, Who Knows Where the Time Goes. this is on Elektra. I think I have Judy Collins' Greatest Hits on CD. That's it. She does Someday Soon on here. Bird on a Wire. So that should be a fun listen. A couple of Harry Nilsson albums. I am not well versed on Harry Nilsson. I mean, maybe I should. This is an album called A Little Touch of Schmilsson in the Night. I love all these albums have the original sleeves. Ooh, this one has a big scratch on it. It's hard to see in the light, but it's right up there. So, ooh, that's going to be interesting to play, see if it still plays. Maybe you guys could let me know something about these albums, because like I said, I don't know too much about Harry Nilsson. Obviously, I've heard of him. I've seen his albums. Just don't know too much about him. This is an album called Harry. RCA Victor. So I'm interested to spin those. I've been actually wanting to listen to some Harry Nilsson. I know some of his songs. I know his songs have been covered by other artists. I just don't have any of his CDs or anything. I never really listened to him too much. Oh, this is an album that no one's ever seen before either. Eagles' Greatest Hits. Still in the shrink wrap. Still has the hype sticker. What label is that? Is that Arista? Oh, Asylum maybe? It's small, I'm not sure. That's the label. So, I don't really even need to talk about that one. We all know that album. Now, I just watched a PBS special on country music. It was like an 8-part series. It was awesome. I actually started around the midway in the series, and now I'm kind of going back to the early stuff. But they talked a lot about this man, Kris Kristofferson. And this is Kris Kristofferson and Rita Coolidge, Full Moon. And this is on A&M. So excited to have a Kris Kristofferson album in the collection. Now, I've got 2 Big Chill comps. I've got the songs from the Big Chill, still in the shrink wrap, and more songs from the Big Chill. Still got this little $6.99 on sale. These were both on the Motown label. I believe the second one was on the Motown label. Let me look. Yep. I did not have these on CD, but I mean, listen to these songs. Side 1, Bad Mood Rising, Wouldn't It Be Nice, the Beach Boys. It's the same old song, Four Tops, When a Man Loves a Woman, Percy Sledge, Dancing in the Street, What's Going On. Side 2, In the Midnight Hour, The Rascals, Quicksilver Girl, the Steve Miller Band, Give Me Some Lovin', Too Many Fish in the Sea, the Marvelettes, and The Weight, the band. So yeah, awesome songs. The original soundtrack had I Heard It Through the Grapevine, My Girl, Good Lovin', The Tracks of My Tears, Joy to the World, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, I Second That Emotion, love that song, Smokey Robinson, Whiter Shade of Pale, and Tell Him. So, pretty cool to have these. Great soundtracks. Wow, awesome. This was an interesting one. This is the Drifters Golden Hits. And this still has the shrink wrap on it. Special, $6.98. Well, I got it for free. So what do you think of that? This is on Atlantic. Don't have any Drifters. Looking forward to listening to that. Like I said, I don't know. I know a lot about heavy metal. I know a lot about punk music. I know a lot about traditional country and folk music. And I know quite a bit about jazz. But two types of music that I don't know too much about are Motown and doo-wop. So I'm interested to get more into, Motown and doo-wop. I mean, and personally as a singer, I should really be into doo-wop. Oh, I was excited to find this, the Honey Drippers, Robert Plant's post-Zeppelin band. Had this on CD. Of course, this included Sea of Love. This is on, what label is that? Esperanza, maybe? Is that what the label is? Yeah, I think so. This has a promo stamp on the back, too. But that album looks like it's never been played before. So that will definitely be going in the collection. Very cool. If you have never listened to the Honey Drippers, and you only know Sea of Love, listen to the rest of that album. It's really good. Okay, moving on. I have a trio of Anne Murray albums. Now, you cannot go wrong with Anne Murray's beautiful voice. This is Danny's Song. And this is on Capitol. Yeah. I have her album Annie. It's funny, I saw this and I'm like, oh, I've never heard of the group Annie before. And I'm like, please don't be the soundtrack for the Broadway show Annie. I hate that show. But then I looked in the back and saw Anne Murray. I was like, oh, okay, that's okay. That's okay. This is on Capitol as well. These are some early albums by Anne Murray. I'm looking for a date on this one. 1972. And then, What About Me, Anne Murray. Ooh, look at her there. This is a early one. This is on Pickwick. Ooh, that's a cool label. I've never seen the Pickwick label before. Very cool. She does Both Sides Now. So that should be cool. Looking forward to listening to that. All right, what else we got here? All right, this is interesting. Neil Sedaka. I remember my parents loved Neil Sedaka. Do I like Neil Sedaka? Not really, but this is an album called Sings His Greatest Hits. So I was like, you know what? It's on RCA. Let's just pick it up. Let's give it a spin. Like I said, my parents love Neil Sedaka. I remember them listening to him. I like a couple of his songs. I'm looking here. He does Stairway to Heaven. That can't be the Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven because it's only 2 minutes long. So if that was, that'd be cool. To shrink Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven into a 2-minute long song and do it like in a Neil Sedaka version. That'd be sweet. All right, Joe Cocker with A Little Help from My Friends. Love that cover. This is on A&M. This album definitely looks like it's been played, but we'll see if we can salvage it. Harry Belafonte, Homeward Bound. Yeah, this is quite a varied collection here. This is on RCA Victor. Suzanne is probably the Leonard Cohen Suzanne, I'm thinking. Homeward Bound, that must be the Simon and Garfunkel. If I Were a Carpenter. So, looking forward to that. That should be cool. Dylan, Nashville Skyline. I have this on CD, and the Man in Black did the notes on the back. Very cool record. I've got a little bit of a seam split here. That is on Columbia. Yeah, that album is definitely well loved. Definitely well loved. But I love that cover. Electric Light Orchestra, Out of the Blue. This is still in the shrink wrap on Jet Records. This album looks near mint. This one has not really been played. Didn't realize it was a double record. What else we got in here? Is there something else in here? Oh, yes. This is the picture of the white elephant in a snowstorm. I really don't know why that's in there. Maybe you guys could let me know. Maybe it's to separate the albums. I'm not sure, but definitely looking forward to listening to that. I like me some ELO. A few more, guys. Stick with me here. The Young Rascals, including Good Lovin' on Atlantic. There's a label. Oh, that's a cool Atlantic label. Groovin', The Young Rascals. Here's what I looked like in high school. Also on that funky Atlantic label. The Rascals' Greatest Hits. This jacket looks and feels just near mint. I'm gonna look at the album here. Let's see what we got here. This is on Atlantic, and yeah. This one looks like it was really maybe played once. So looking forward to that. This second batch of records seems like it's in better condition than the first batch of records that I went through. So that'll be cool. The Turtles, Golden Hits. I don't have anything by the Turtles. Looks like they do It Ain't Me, Babe. I think everybody covered It Ain't Me, Babe. White Whale Records. Oh my goodness, I have never heard of White Whale Records. So that's pretty cool. Oh, yes. Elvis's Golden Records. Love me some Elvis. I think this was in the top 500 Rolling Stone of all time, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is on Victor. RCA Victor. And that looks near mint too, and the cover is in great condition. I'm excited about that one. Yeah, like I said, this is the first time I'm kind of pulling out these records and looking at them. The second batch looks like it's in better condition. Just a couple more here. The Shangri-Las, including Leader of the Pack. Looks like it's on Redbird Records. Yeah, never seen that label before. This is well loved, definitely. Such a cool cover, though. A couple Murray the K. Murray the K, 1962. Boss Golden Gassers. You know, you got the Shirelles on here, the Etzels, Don and Juan, the Shirleys, Etta James. This is on Scepter Records. Now, did they have a white label, or is that a promo? Somebody let me know. I also have the Murray the K, the Fifth Beatle. Gives you their favorite Golden Gassers. Has got Dionne Warwick on here, the Drifters, the Kingsmen, Jan Bradley. This is on Scepter. Okay, Scepter must have been a white label too. Unless this is a promo as well, but I have a feeling Scepter was probably a white label. And the last one, WOR-FM Solid Gold 1970. This is a double comp. It's got the Animals on here, the Delphonics, the Flying Machine, James Brown, B.J. Thomas, the Turtles, the Dells, the Shirelles, Orpheus, the Crests, the Flamingos. Oh, this is funny. The Deep Purple. Side 4, look. Side 4, Hush. And they refer to them as the Deep Purple. I don't know. Maybe they were going as the Deep Purple in the beginning. I'm not sure. This is on Post Records. Like I said, it's a double album. Double compilation. On Post Records. A little bit of a seam split here. Just a little bit. So that's the second batch right there. I've got one more crate to go through. This video ended up being longer than the other one. Probably because I'm babbling. So I've got 2 more videos, and part 3 and part 4. But hopefully you enjoyed this. Let me know. Some of my viewers yesterday had some great comments for me. And they let me know, you know, of some history behind some of the songs and some of the artists. So if you guys know anything, or if I made any mistakes, which I probably did, just let me know. Because I'm still learning here. And that's what's great about vinyl, and that's what's great about music is the deeper you start to dig, the more you learn about different genres and different artists and different types of music. So I'm excited to get into these records today, really look at them, figure out what I want to keep, what I want to clean, and what I want to add to the collection. All right, so enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll be coming at you probably tomorrow and maybe Tuesday or Wednesday with part 3 and part 4. All right. Oh, yeah, I forgot I have this fancy little remote, so I'm going to turn it off with this. Bye.